Hello and welcome to Marcus Media Video. I'm Terry Flanagan, editor at Marcus Media. Marcus Media recently concluded the 2020 Marcus Choice Awards. Instinet was the sponsor of the MCAs, and the Instinet Positive Change Awards were featured in our MCA programs. Following up from the awards, Marcus Media is spotlighting charities Instinet partners with, particularly with regard to COVID-19 relief efforts. Today, we're learning about Hebrew Free Loan Society based in New York. We're pleased to be speaking with Rabbi David Rosen, CEO of Hebrew Free Loan Society. Rabbi Rosen, thank you for joining us. Welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
First off, just tell me a little bit about what Hebrew Free Loan Society is all about. What is the essence of your organization?
Hebrew Free Loan Society makes interest-free loans to low and moderate income New Yorkers, giving people an opportunity to access capital in a way that they may not otherwise have an opportunity to do, or they may not be able to afford otherwise. And those loans that we make are helping them to manage their everyday financial challenges and also to access opportunity. We do a lot of loans to people who are going to college, people who are starting small businesses, those sorts of things. So in addition to regular consumer loans, which help people manage the ups and downs of their financial lives, we also are concentrating on trying to help people advance their financial position by accessing opportunity.
Okay. How long has HFLS been in existence? And give me some indication of the amount of loans you might do, say, over the course of your history or on an annual basis.
The Hebrew Free Loan Society was founded at the end of the 19th century in the basement of a synagogue in New York City by 9 individuals who themselves were recent immigrants to the city. They had made it up the economic ladder, maybe 1 or 2 rungs. They turned around, looked behind them, and saw a lot of other people coming into the city who they knew would need a way to support themselves and their families. So they took a model from the old country, which was the interest-free loan fund, and they gathered together, I think the story is $92 at the start of Hebrew Free Loan Society, and started making loans, which eventually grew into, by the early 1910s, $1 million a year of lending. These days, we do about $20 million of lending to the same kinds of individuals as we've been doing lending to for 128 years, lower income people who are trying to manage and advance themselves and need access to safe and affordable credit.
Okay, certainly 2020 has been a challenging year in many respects. How has the COVID-19 pandemic affected lower income New Yorkers, and how has Hebrew Free Loan Society responded to the crisis?
Well, the pandemic has just had a devastating effect on nearly everybody who is dependent upon employment. We've seen widespread across our population, our target population, which is low and moderate income people in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester, huge levels of unemployment, huge levels of uncertainty about finances. And so the very first thing that we did was to tell our current borrowers that we were going to suspend repayment. We did that first for 2 months and then extended it for another 2 months. So instead of people having $250 withdrawn automatically from their bank account, we told them, hang on to it, use that to pay for food or your rent or whatever you need it for. And we probably are missing around $2 million, $2.5 million of cash flow from that, which is usually recycled into new loans. We're extremely fortunate that we've had supporters come to us looking for ways to reach people who they knew were going to be in need of financial assistance. And so we were able to raise several $1 million to make up for the pause on repayments and to issue new loans. So we, in early March, put out a coronavirus financial impact loan, which is a $5,000 loan. You need 1 guarantor, and we've had about $1.3 million worth of requests for that loan. So in addition to forbearances on current borrowers, we're issuing new loans. We have recently started to do a set of loans to small business owners in an effort to help them make it through this very tough time when most of the city's economy is shut down, so that they can reemerge at the end and build their businesses back to where they were and hopefully take them further.
Okay, and it seems like New York and the economy is taking initial steps to slowly and gradually reopen. How do you see the landscape for what your organization does changing in the coming months as the economy reopens?
I think that there will be a reluctance that people have to take on debt when they already are unsure about where their income is coming from. Financial assistance from government programs, including unemployment insurance and the stimulus check, that has helped people in the interim. Not everybody, but some people. And what really needs to happen is people need to be able to go back to work. And so our borrowers in particular are mostly employed by the small businesses, and the small businesses have been hit very, very hard. We are probably going to pivot into much more lending to small businesses, both as a way to provide assistance to the people who own those businesses and help them advance, but also because there's a huge multiplier effect there. And those people will be rehiring people, and that will get the economy eventually back into gear. People will certainly need safety net loans during that time, and so we will continue to make those available. I hope that eventually we will get to go back to the full set of our loans, which includes loans for people to upskill and take vocational training programs. It includes loans for some affordable housing purchase. It includes loans that right now, a lot of the activity around those, the need for those loans is shut down, but eventually it will come back.
Okay, I mentioned at the start that Hebrew Free Loan Society partners with Instinet. Talk a little bit about that partnership, what it entails, what's the benefit of it, and also maybe broadly what other corporate partnerships that might exist for you.
Well, I mentioned that we were looking for capital to be able to make new loans at the same time that we were pausing on collecting from our current loans. And several corporations and foundations stepped up for that. Also, some individuals. And one of Instinet's clients, Lee Mashler at Trillium, was part of a group that crowdsourced $500,000 of capital for us to be able to make loans to people who are affected by the coronavirus pandemic. And through the connection with Lee, Instinet participated in that campaign, helped us to put more capital out in loans, and it is also launching its own fundraising campaign to participate in further making sure that as the recovery begins and continues and forever how long it takes, that we'll be able to be there offering safe and affordable credit to lower income New Yorkers who are trying to reintegrate into their economic lives.
What's your vision for the future of Hebrew Free Loan Society? Say once COVID-19 passes, longer term, 5-10 years out, what's your vision for the organization?
I'd like to see us be able not only to do much more lending ourselves, but also to popularize the idea that you can lend to lower income people and get your money back in a way that enables the process to recycle over time. We have a repayment rate of 99.9%. I should clarify that was before the pandemic. I'm sure there'll be some erosion of that repayment as we get back to more normal times, but we've got a model that proves you don't have to price risk in. Loans to lower income people do not have to be expensive. In fact, we charge nothing, and we are supported in our operations by the philanthropic community, but really we are supported by the repayment of our loans almost 100% by the borrowers. And it isn't hard for people to manage their financial lives without access to some liquidity, and they need it at a price that isn't predatory. They need it at a rate that isn't going to set them further back than the solution that they're looking to from the loan. And that's something that I think that we offer. We've got a set of ideas that we want to put out there, which don't need to be owned by the Hebrew Free Loan Society. We hope that the idea of low interest or no interest lending for people in financial distress will be a much bigger part of the American economy as we go forward, and we're interested in trying to be a generator of ideas about how to make that happen.
If someone, whether an individual or a company, would be interested in getting involved in helping low-income New Yorkers through the work you do, how would they do so?
Thank you for asking. The number one thing that people can do to help is to make sure that lower income New Yorkers in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester know about the Hebrew Free Loan Society's interest-free loans. They can go to our website at hfls.org and find out about how to apply. The other thing is that if enough people do come, we would appreciate donations of capital and operating help. We've got a very large range of contributors, including individuals and corporations like BlackRock, foundations like Robinhood. We would be honored if you would join us and be a part of the community in New York City that is ensuring that people will always have a safe and affordable way to access the credit they need to meet their financial goals in life.
I've been speaking with Rabbi David Rosen, CEO of the Hebrew Free Loan Society. Rabbi Rosen, thank you very much for telling us about the work you do and joining us on the program.
Thanks for the opportunity.